Hello everybody, welcome back to Startup Company, and we are now in the headquarters. And let me start off by just saying that the experience of going from the skyscraper to the headquarters is for lack of a better term, it is a terrible experience. And based on the size you get for like the transition to it, I'm gonna say it's probably also not worth it. So in the current version of the game, if you're thinking about going to the headquarters, I would actually advise against doing it. The amount of time you have to spend moving your people back is not worth it. Now, that being said, in a future version of the game, I've got to imagine I'm not the only one complaining about this. In the future version of the game, I'm willing to bet ya this is going to change a bit. I would like to see another floor to this building, for starters. And I'd like to see some sort of process in transitioning from floor to floor, because that was terrible. I put about 2 hours into this, moving every single thing you see on the screen one at a time. And this is what I come up with so far. I've hired nobody, okay? So no additional employees hired. This is how much space I'm currently occupying with no additional employees hired. You can see that we're almost full on the top floor. I hired no additional developers. Let's get the UI things out of the way. I understand that this is hard to see. I've had some people mention how small this stuff is. There's literally nothing I can do about it other than just zooming in more, and I can attempt to do that a bit more often if possible. I've already expressed that I'd love to scale the UI. I'm just not able to do so without getting it to where it's going to flip over top of each other and be super big. So you're just going to either have to live with this or unfortunately just not watch the series if you can't take it. And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. That being said, is my development team here, and the lead developing team is over here, and this is how much space we have on the top floor. Now the managers are all up here too, but because of how this is laid out, and I've tried several different layouts to kind of get this to look pretty cool, and no matter what I do, it seems like I either don't have enough room to give everybody the desk that they want. There's actually quite a few of these lead developers that want these programmer desks, and I've given everybody the desks that they want. So if they have a demand for a certain type of desk, they have that desk now. I have some room to expand development. That's important, room to expand for the future, because we're making a new product and stuff. But also, if I try to line these up and configure these to where the managers are with them, I just fill up the whole room and there's no room to expand. So I guess the only way to really do this is just to make rows, and that's kind of what I've got going right now. So we're just making rows there. So this is my second floor. There's room to expand here. The managers are just simply assigned to people. They're not necessarily next to the people that they're managing. I've just assigned them. It's too much work. I'm just not interested in it. I think I sort of like lost a taste for doing it. By the time I had gotten them all in position, I kind of went, well, okay, that's about 2 hours out of my life. I'm not going to bother with lining it up. So that's just kind of the way it went. But devs and lead devs are up there. Then we've got the graphics team with a couple of places for desks to expand, not a whole lot. I could also dip into this a little bit because this is my current HR department. It's pretty lacking. I also have a couple of extra people that are not sitting in desks. I have 3 expert managers, including Aussie Ranger 4, who are not in a desk at all, I guess. I didn't know that one of the named people were out of a desk until just now, so. But that's kind of how that is right now. So system admins down here. We have a little bit of room to expand here if we need to. Sales team over here. I've got them in fairly easy to click on positions. And we'll probably be spending most of our time on this floor, because this is where my recruitment happens, as well as where my sales contracts are. The switch from floor 1 to floor 2 has got a bit of a lag in it. And so I'm not really interested in flipping through floors all that much. It's definitely a bigger floor print. Don't get me wrong. Definitely a bigger footprint. Certainly bigger. And it feels really bigger. But I think it needs a 3rd floor. I really do. So anyway, otherwise, like the cost involved in moving here, I don't think is worth it from the skyscraper. So CEO's got his office over here. I went ahead and gave him the executive desk anyway, because whatever. He's got a TV over here, as well as a couple of sofas and stuff that he can like meet with clients with and whatever. You've also got the big meeting table in here now, instead of having it in a separate room, because I was a little bit short on space, right? So I just kind of went with that. The support team is over here. They're kind of hidden behind the wall a little bit. I thought it'd be appropriate to have a solid wall here, so the CEO has privacy in his office and stuff. There's individual doors for each of these locations. Then there's like the hangout room, the wide open break room sort of thing. I might tweak this a little bit as we expand. This might get a little smaller. And then here are the doors they come through, and then they can kind of enter the office through one of these doors here if they want to. Kind of move through. The upper floor also has access to the elevators and stuff. Kind of the same deal. I went ahead and made this nice long glass window kind of all the way around here with a couple of entrance doors for people who want to get into a certain side. And that's kind of it. That's the HQ, everybody. So yeah, there you go. I do need to hire some more people, and I wanted to give a shot at I think it'll be the lower floor. I wanted to give a shot with the recruiters, just to try them out. I don't really think they're a necessary addition to the company, but I just wanted to try them out. So we might as well take the one that's fastest. Let's do Jeffrey Douglas. And we'll go ahead and get him an offer for $5 grand. I'm just going to accept his 5,100 for now. And we'll put him in here with HR. Why not? So Jeffrey Douglas does basically the same thing as the CEO does. It just allows him to do it alongside what the CEO is doing, which is kind of why I think it's not really that necessary of a thing to get. So let's do some headhunting for lead developers. There's no reason to look at their desires or their demands. There's no real reason to do that. Oh, you can't look for salary expectations. So yeah, I kind of have to pay someone to do the same job as the CEO would do. And I have to train them up. Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary to have him. I'm gonna go ahead and fire him. Sorry, just kidding. No reason to have him around. I just don't see the point. Let's start headhunting for a lead developer. Again, we don't need to see their demands because we're meeting every demand anyway. And I think I'm pretty much only gonna take people who are like 200%. I think only the best possible candidates at this point are gonna be selected. Let's see how. So we're growing pretty well on our sites. We're not really doing any marketing or anything. We're kind of growing. And I think at this point, it's mostly, honestly, this game is mostly a waiting game at this point, to be honest. It's kind of just waiting for things to come in and hitting the button when it's ready. Which kind of makes me feel like I've almost, to be frank with you, it almost makes me feel like I've kind of seen what the game has to offer already, and I'm not entirely sure there's a point to continuing this company at this point. I like to play games not until the end necessarily, but until I've experienced what I think that game has to offer in full. And at this point, I sort of feel like startup company for me, I've sort of experienced what it has to do in full, right? I feel like I've gotten my fill from it. There are a couple of things I'd like to do, which, I mean, obviously, like, getting to be the #1 global company is, like, this thing on the list, right? We're currently worth 1.4 billion. So there's that. But, I mean, aside from, like, just getting to #1, I don't know what the significance really is of that. I'm not entirely sure how my experience in the game is enriched by getting to #1, you know? There are people who are like achievement hunter type people who are just like, you can do it. But at this rate, like, you can kind of see the way the game is going. It's not difficult to get to #1. It's just a matter of time at this point. It will not be a challenging thing. We're making enough money to where the company will absolutely continue to grow. It will not have any challenges. With our current framework, our hosting, both of our sites are using like 12% at peak hour. There's just, it's not going to really fulfill me the way, for example, starting a brand new company would. And I want to do it on hard mode, and I want to do it on, I have 3 criteria that I'd like to try. I don't think this is necessarily the last video for this company, but I think we're getting close to the point where I'm about to call it. I would like to get maybe Fedora Friends up and running, because it's a social media network. It's kind of like a new type of network, right? At this point, we're currently making 36 million a day. And Fedora Friends now has 15 million capacity. So if I was gonna start Fedora Friends off with like a big bang, I'd probably go to social media. And I'd say, okay, Zero Zone. I'm just gonna take you, you know? And it's already like dipping, so it's fine. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is essentially just fill up my office. I mean, that's the bottom line. I just want to fill up my office. I've got a couple of extra managers that are kind of sitting around, so I'm gonna pop one of those on the desk. I think the remaining managers want executive desks, I think. I have a spare expert desk. Let me just pop one of these guys in here and see what they want. This one wants an expert desk. Okay, cool. So I'll get Fanny, like, I don't know, just be over here somewhere. It doesn't matter. And then we're going to want to fill this area with more lead developers. So I'm going to pop in a few extra desks here. And they're mostly in storage. I don't even have to pay for these. I just have them in storage still. Now I'm noticing that the door I have here is kind of obstructed by these desks now. So what I'm going to do is just pop these out of the way. Bring this door over here and kind of line it up there. And that's better. That looks a little bit better. So there's these 8 desks, and these 8 desks will be managed by Fanny over here, this extra manager. Also, I had somebody say they want to be in the game, and like I haven't been adding your names because when we're especially in this big of a building, the names are so small on your screen anyway that you're really not seeing them. You're also kind of lost in like a sea of names. But that being said, you know, like there's so many people, you're never gonna see yourself at this point anyway. But I did say I would get you in. So guess what? Garrett Washington, the manager that's managing some people who are developers. You are now Kungen. I believe that's how you said your name was. Could be Kungen. Either way, you're in the game. There you are, buddy. Right there. Now watch as you like never see yourself because of how many people there are in this office. Plus you're at the top floor, and I'm probably gonna spend most of my time on this floor because this is where my salespeople are. All right, we need lead developers that are good. You're pretty good, and by pretty good, I mean the 200% possibility here. Let's grab that. Christina Steele, 5,000 salary, 200%. I like it. Who else can we grab in? So 199 for 5K. That sounds great. Let's grab you. I found really no use to the signing bonus thing because even if you get them cheaper, like after this, like let's say I didn't like 4,500, I wanted to get them for 4,300, right? Or 4,200, right? I could throw in a signing bonus and they're kind of still going to counter you super high. So I could be like, how about this for a signing bonus? And like, again, they're still going to counter you super high to this number. So I'm not really seeing a number that matters aside from just getting them to round down to the expectation and they'll just take it. I don't see any like real problem with just doing that. So like there's a few features in the game, and maybe I'm being overly critical, but there's a few features in the game that I think are like nice on paper, but they don't really have the practical utility that I would like to utilize. There's not to the point where I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. It's mostly like, okay, yeah, that's a thing I can do, I guess. It's not necessarily necessary. There you go. Not necessarily necessary. Perfect English. Exactly what we wanted right there. I'm just gonna start their training now because I'm gonna get them under a manager like right away anyway. So we'll just get them in the desks. That's not the right person. Get you training, and then Fanny, you're going to take the developers here. Your production will be like this, just for now, just to get them going. and then we'll up it from there. As they train, we'll get them upped from there. We'll fill the other 4 desks with the recruitment. Then I'll work on developers, because I think our development, if I take a look at our inventory, these, like, graphics is way high, right? And we're really good on, like, system admin stuff too. And we will be. There's, like, no reason. This is just gonna keep going up. It's mostly the components I'm looking for to keep up with are these ones. And we only have like a few hundred of these each. It's because we're spending them on getting Fedora friends ready to go, right? Making sure that the site's ready to rock. And I think we're probably getting close. Yeah, we're at 170 milliseconds, so we have enough efficiency at this point to where we won't tank our server from the extra load. I'm just looking to hit it as many times as I can. And then now I just need to increase the potential users of this site. And then we'll just take one of the companies we own, and that'll be it. Speaking of companies we own, I think it's like, wouldn't it be cool to just start off by just absorbing Latergram? And just be like, look, here's 236 million users. Ta-da! There's our new social network. It launches with 2.5 billion dollar evaluation. It just launches with that. Wouldn't that be great? So yeah, I think what I'd like to do is do another playthrough here in what I'm gonna call like ultra hard mode. And the idea I have is, well, there's a little frosting on the cake here that I won't tell you just yet. I'll tell you when the episode launches, because I've started recording it already. But you can count on three criteria that will make it significantly harder than what this one was. And there will actually be an end game condition, like whether or not we can actually do it. As far, you can consider it a challenge run, I suppose. That would probably be more accurate to say that it's a challenge run. Because we'll be working with a given set of criteria that is harder than just putting it on hard mode, and then attempting to make decisions that cater to that particular difficulty. The first condition, of course, is playing the actual hard mode so that you don't start with venture capital. So that's the first thing, of course. The second criteria is that I would like to get to the #1 global company, #1 global company before the end of 5 years. Now, 5 years is like 1,800 days, so we're almost halfway there. So you might think, hey, that's not hard to achieve. That'd be easy, Charlie. And you'd be right. In this company here, that would be easy. #1 global in less than 5 years. That'd be very easy to do. But with my extra conditions applied, I think it will be quite a challenge. And that is that we're going to do that. #1 global company, less than 5 years. And we're gonna do that with only one single beginner salesman. Like a beginner salesman, and we're not gonna upgrade him. And my logic behind this is, like, let's say you're starting a company and, like, I don't know, your cousin or something, your sister was like, I want to be part of it too. You're like, I don't know what you can do. You can't develop anything. Here, why don't you try to sell some things? Try to get us some ads. And so your sister is like the only one, right? She's not the greatest, but she does an okay job. That's just like the narrative I'm telling myself. It's kind of a gimmicky run, but it would create the additional challenge that I personally require to have the replay value that I think the game needs. I think the game is lacking replay value without challenging yourself in different ways like that. Because otherwise, once you get past, to be frank, in this game, once you get profitable, like any sort of green number, it's not a difficult game after that. Like, getting profitable is the hard part, and then once you're profitable, I don't really think it matters what mode you're playing on at that point. Because sales are so broken. If sales weren't so broken, it might be different, but I think we got enough lead developers now. We should probably look for some additional regular developers here to keep up with them, because inventory-wise, we're starting to fall behind on that 93, 90, 86, 84. I don't have the big bank up of resources that I have with these other things. I would like to see these UI components, backend components, etc. I'd like to see these get to like 500, 600, 700 in storage regularly. At this point, so Fedora Flicks and Fedora Merch are both insanely profitable companies, or insanely profitable products. They both have great customer feedback. They both have more than enough potential users to keep growing on their own. So I'm almost entirely focused on friends right now. We're just gonna go up by 10 levels here on everything. Bring everything up to 130. And we'll see whether or not... I wish I could just do like a button for all. Again, like, give me the individual, but also give me one button that says all and just impacts everything when I click it. If I have enough resources to do it all, let me do it in a single click, you know? I wish that was something I still wish that was something I could do with basically every part of this game. Especially when you're moving, like, in the office. Being able to move multiple things at once would be just an absolute savior of time. Because having to move it all one by one was... Whew! I don't wish it upon you. I don't. Let's go... Let's pause this. Can I go 5 levels with everything? I'm not sure I can. I'm gonna pause it because this is Fedora Flicks and I don't want to get it under 50%. Yeah, that was my worry there, is that some of these features. Flicks could have more function. We could have more features on Flicks. But I don't think it's necessary. Because it's just a media streaming platform. What do you need? A way to share it, a way to stream things live, a way to stream things on demand, and a landing page to tell everybody what's up. That's kind of it. And that's the features we have. We don't need anything else. But eventually, we're gonna have a hard time reaching like the big user numbers without adding additional features to cover them, I think. I don't know what the max feature level of any of these features are, but I do know my framework says 5,000, and that's the final framework. So I'm gonna go with the framework only being able to support these things being to level 5,000. Now, thankfully for us anyway, we're not even close to hitting that number. You know, we're at 742 on each of these, so we got a long way to go on that. And that's kind of what I mean by it. I think at this point, it's sort of just like a rinse and repeat. Every day, do something to raise it up, and it's a very repetitive experience at this point. There are other games out there that I would like to experience on the channel, and so while I think that it's still a cool game to keep playing on your own, and I probably will keep building this up, maybe I'll do a follow-up video, you know, in a couple of videos here, I'll do a follow-up video and show you how, you know, where Fedora Flicks went, where Fedora Merch went, how Fedora Friends ended up, right? I'll probably do that, but as far as like an ongoing video series for it, I can feel the interest in the series dying down, and not just from a viewership standpoint on YouTube, but also from my own personal standpoint as a player to making videos for it. I can feel that happening. I can feel that interest dying down. And it's not because the game is bad per se, it's because the late game is, well, it's significantly better to play than it is to create videos for. I'll go with that. It's just one of those games where it's fun to play it. You can have it running while you're doing other work. But to make videos for it, for YouTube, I think I've kind of spent it. I think it's a spent experience. But I would like to get Fedora Friends at least running. So how about we just let this thing build on its own and see where it goes, huh? How about we do that? So let's, we'll go for You know what? Let's market the chat system. Why not? People seem to like that one. Let's go for specifics. Let's try females, 15 to 25. We'll go entertainment, travel, and shopping. Probably not travel, family and shopping. This is a social network. Family things are shared a lot. And honestly, I think probably fashion is probably shared more. You know what? Everybody takes pictures of their food. I'm going to go with food on this. Okay, that's a 45%. We can pause this now. So I can see that this one's 45%. Right? I have enough marketing resources to just make another one right now. Let's try males, 26 to 50, and we'll go with sports, technology, travel. Okay, that one's 25%. We can get rid of that one. Again, I have so many marketing materials, I can play around with this until I find that great mix. So male, let's go 15 to 25, business, sports, entertainment. Let's try that. That's a 5%. All right, so it's pretty safe to assume that male is the weak point here. We'll go female. We'll go, let's say, 15 to 25, and we'll try food, entertainment, shopping. Let's try that. Okay, 25%, not great. One more time. Let's try female, 50 plus. Let's try fashion. We'll go with family and business. Why not? 25%. So if you have enough resources to spend, they're just sitting there, you can play around with this and see if you can find that perfect combination. It will just flat out tell you. Before you even like start, it'll just flat out tell you. Shopping, travel, family. All right, so it looks like the best campaign we got right now is 45%. So let's let this one run and see how well it does for a while. So I'll bump this budget up to, let's say, 100K. We'll let this run for 100,000, see how well it does. Reach the numbers that we need, pull in the data that we need, and try to find the most effective ad campaign for Fedora Friends. So up it goes. Fedora Friends is a thing that we all know and love. Everyone likes it. Yay, yay, yay. We all like the Fedora Friends. And yeah, like we could give it 10% of our server. We can go 15%. Let's just give it 18%. Why not? Doesn't matter. So competitors in social media, Meaty Me has 705,000 people. I think we're just gonna go ahead and take these guys right now. We'll just go ahead and merge these guys. We'll take them off the map. It is now currently Sunday. I should have invested yesterday because I have $500 million in the bank. But I forgot to do that, so 1% of audience reached. I kind of feel like going even more aggressively on this. We're taking less than 1 million users from Meaty Me. So marketing-wise, we're gonna just get ourselves, yeah, like 17 million as our capacity. And we can just hit this, go up 10 levels, go up 10 levels, go up 10 levels, etc., etc., etc. No, this one's not quite ready. There we go. Oh, I popped it twice. Whoops. It was like it wasn't available, and then all of a sudden it was available twice. It seems kind of weird. I didn't anticipate that. 150, 150. Getting close, almost. Network modules. Come on now, network modules. Aw, they were available briefly. I just missed the click on it. So I want to see this reach 10%. And then I can see which campaigns were least effective and then modify the marketing from there. Now, we do have tickets coming in already. That's something we have. So I'm going to take one of these guys who are waiting for a ticket currently, like Super Tech Boy. I'm going to take him off of the merch team and stick him on the friends team for now. Let him solve this ticket. And then I'm going to swap over to our CEO guy here and have him look for more support. couple more support people would be okay. In the meantime, we also have some candidates here for our developers. Candidates that are really super expensive. Here we go. Grab this guy. 193 is pretty good. We'll grab her. 46. Come on down to 195. Yeah, I'll take it. Well, 5,200, I guess, is fine. Whatever. I got $500 million in the bank, so. Oh, this person's a really good salary. Look at this. That's a great one right there. All right, we got all these developers in. Now I just need to place another manager. We'll get Aussie Ranger in here. He wants an executive desk. Okay. Executive desk for you then, Aussie. I understand. That's the way the times are. All right, fine. I'm not sure where to place you. For now, I'm gonna set you here. We're gonna have you grab all these new developers. And we're gonna make sure that your production limits are like through the roof here. Let's do 500 on both of these because they're super important. 200 on network. And then we'll have you doing like another, let's say 200 on file system. We do not need these two. We are banked up quite a bit, so no problem. I would also like to maybe find you another employee. I could set you here. That's not a bad spot for you. I could set you there. Right, because the door's on that side, right? So, yeah, that can work. Let's get one more developer in here if I can. Just to make that a solid 8 for you as far as what you're managing. Let's see, 187 is in here. You know what, the 187 will probably be fine. Yeah, 187 is fine. Dwayne, 6,200. Okay, never mind, not Dwayne. Gregory, you know what, you're a 180. But you're a very passionate 180. I like your style. Come on in, just so I can fill up that desk. We basically have no more room for developers now, so. Train to your little heart's content and get you with Aussie. Okay, there you go. All right, we don't have to go upstairs for a little bit. We need support people. So support people, there's a 187 right here. Oh, right, that's the, okay, never mind. Let's get rid of all these developers off the list and take a look at support people. We've got a 194 here. Should be fine. 4,400 sounds good. Landing page is gonna have to come up a little bit. We're actually completely out of back-end components too. So the developer team definitely needed like upgraded. We definitely needed more of them to be there. We don't need this many system admins anymore. We really don't need this many graphics people. Our supply is up to almost 20K in storage now. So realistically, I could start laying off some of these guys and some of these guys and just replacing them with more developers. If I was like trying to min-max the game, that's probably what I would do. That's a 4,400 person here. Now, there's also some new managers on the floor now, right? A couple of new managers. So I should probably get another HR guy. Luckily, I'm sitting here with a spare HR guy just sitting around in here. So here you go. Whatever. You guys can come in at 8 and have a nice 7-hour workday. I'll even give you a Sunday off. How does that sound? Nah, I don't want to do that because there's no need to do that. We'll have support tickets undone then if I do that. You want an expert desk? You got it. There you go. I like how you don't have a... Oh, right, because it takes effect after midnight. Got it, yeah. All right, we got a lot of people on this network now. So we can kill this budget. It's overdone. In fact, it's way overdone because we're already at 22% audience reached. So let's create the report. Okay, so we can see that entertainment, family, and food works, but female and 15 to 25 doesn't work. Mail was the thing, really. I did not see that coming. Let's do mail 26 to 50. And you know what? Honestly, we might as well just do this because we know it works, right? So that's a 65%. Okay, there you go. I wonder why that's 65. Maybe mail doesn't work either. Maybe what we really need are, now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious. Mail 50 plus this? Is the 50 plus better for social media? For a social network? Is that better? It actually isn't really that big of a difference. Whatever, we'll do this. It's fine. 10,000 a day. Great conversion rates. And just like that, Fedora Friends is on the map. And Meaty Me is off of it. Super easy. Cakewalk. All right, guys. I'm gonna leave this video here. Like I said, I don't know how many more videos of this series I'll have. I'll probably do like a ton of play and then update you later. But if we're gonna do more Startup Company, I feel like it's gonna be with a new playthrough. It's gonna be with a hard mode playthrough. And I have an extra surprise for you with that. So I don't have it prepped yet, so it might be a few weeks before we start it because I need to time it right, and I also need to develop something on the side for it, like a strategy and a plan for it. So you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean later. It's not something that's like, oh, you're just playing a game. There's something else to it. Kind of interesting. And there's another game I'd like to play in its place. So thanks so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. We'll probably have like one more video. I might do one more video, and then episode 40 will be the big recap. Yeah, I think so. That's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.